Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Please like this video. Please watch the full video. Don't skip. Don't skip. If you're skipping, you're not helping the channel. Please don't skip and share if you like it. If you can, I will appreciate that. Please share if you can. You can sympathize this a video. You can sympathize me just to show to support the channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Finally, on gender, you'll have seen Policy Exchange's report today claiming that parents have been kept in the dark in some schools about their children changing gender. Are you concerned? What is your government doing?
So I'm very concerned about these reports. You know, for me, the safety and well-being of our children is of paramount importance. And I've also been clear that parents must be able to know what is being taught to their kids in school, especially on these sensitive areas. That's why we're already reviewing the RHSE guidance to make sure that it is age appropriate for children. But also what I'm also going to say today is that for the summer term, we will make sure that we publish guidance for schools so that they know how to respond when children are asking about their gender. These are really sensitive areas. It's important that we treat them sensitively and that parents know what's going on, and we'll make sure that that happens.
So I want to talk briefly on these children's being allowed to change their identity in school without their parents knowing. It baffles me when I read it or been hearing about it. I'm wondering, would that be possible? Why are they called children? It's because they are not an adult yet. And I know a grown-up ones will be addressed by their parents or people that are able to give birth to them as children. I know what that. But you know, children that are still going to school, why would they be allowed to change their identity without their parents' consent? Let me quickly read this out and I will give my own point of view. Children must not be allowed to switch identity in school without telling their parents, Rishi Sunak says. Now, why would this actually be coming on in school? Shouldn't parents be informed of issue happening with their children? When something happens in school, they inform their parents. They have a notebook where they put some notes. Is it that parents are too busy to go through their books, or they don't even know how they dress living home? Let me go on to read this. People must not be allowed to change their gender in school without telling their parents. The Prime Minister told teachers that letting boys identify as girls was not a neutral act and could have a significant impact on children. Of course, he also said that school staff must alert parents if their children want to be referred to by different pronouns. In his comments, gave the strongest identification yet of the likely content of long-awaited guidance for head teachers on how to handle transgender rights. It was reported last night that the guidance will finally be published this week, banning school from letting people socially transition by changing their names, pronouns, or uniform if their parents do not consent. So, some children would decide that because they are being bullied, they are being spoken to anyhow, they are not being seen well. So, some of their friends will now convince them that, oh, it's because you're a girl. If you change to a boy, they would not do that to you. Or if because you're a boy, if you change to a girl, and they will go by it. These children don't even have discussion with any member of the family to make their wish known or what they are thinking of. They will now go to school and now tell Miss A, don't call me E, use R for me. And the teachers don't have any option to just go by them. than for the teacher to just go by what this child wants. uh, and they're talking about the fact that, oh, if they have to tell their parent, it's going to be a breach of confidentiality. What confidentiality should the child be having at in school? I don't think that is right, really. We're talking about Britain, UK, abroad. They do things that is not quite right abroad. I'm not against LGBT at all. I'm not against them. So, talking about what confidentiality should children be having while they are in school. I mean, children under 13 or 13, the only confidentiality I think they should have is when they are facing abuse, and maybe at home they are facing those abuse and at home, and they've had a word with them in school or with the teacher, and the teacher would not call the parent until they pass the message across to the proper authority in department, where those people will be taking their investigation. They can now call or invite the parents in for questioning. They might not call the parent immediately to say, oh, we had a report that. Why some schools will call the parent in that, can we have a word? Those are the thing. The confidentiality is not about this kind of a thing. They don't think they should class it as confidentiality. It's not, to me. I believe, because they want to be identified as something. So it's not a confidentiality anymore. Confident anything, confidentiality. No. It really baffles me that this happened. That it has actually happened. Not that they were proposing it. It has happened. I even read where a parent said that she was called, and they said, oh, they just wanted to inform her that maybe it was her son or her child has changed the identity, blah blah blah. They just thought they should just let her know. Why would you do that without consent from their parents? I think it's okay for the parent to be invited. Everybody should sit on the table and with the professionals, so they can decide that, okay, this is what their child wants. But even as that, once they identify that as the fact that it's still a child, they will say, okay, we know what you want right now, but you're going to wait till when you get to age 18. That's where you can take a proper decision. Trust me, there are certain decisions a child will make that they will not like after a while. Certain things must be done at a particular time. Don't think, oh, because it's what they want. If a child wants to go on a trip to a place that is not safe, you can't say because it's their decision you need to allow them. If something happen, you will regret ever allowing it. They will actually even blaming you for allowing them. A child wants sweet doesn't mean that you have to always give them sweet. We have to look at the impact, what is going to do to their tooth, their everything, that even when the pain start coming, you are not even going to sleep at all, because toothache is not easy. A child want chocolate, they want popcorn, they want this one this time around. You can't always give them. Can't always give them what they want. There are certain things you need to leave for them to grow into. They will understand that thing well. Because we grow, children will grow. There are some decisions they would not even like to, they would not like that they took in the past. The way you dress them up. Once they look at their pictures when they were a lot younger, they're like, ooh, how did I dress up? I would tell them that time, that was one of the things that were good. The dressing was good. People like, they say, oh, it looks awful. That's how we dress up that time. We cover up well. As they are growing, they now know makeup, know few other things. But let children please be children. Let them be able to reflect back. Let them have those children's memory. The way parents dress their children up right now is funny. I'm not saying don't put braid on their head. Even as young as underage, they use wig on them. They put on this, what's it called? glueless wig, all those, it's not okay. Makeup and all that, all in the name of phones, and those children get used to it. How are we also teaching our children about religious? If you're a religious person, try to let them meet you in it or see you doing it, so that when someone outside is trying to convince them, they can still identify what their parents' religions are or what their faith are all about. You talk about it, it will not be easy for them to change. If they want to change, it will be their decision as an adult. It's not for someone else to just decide to want to change their decision because they're a child. Please, parents, let us do well. If you're spending too much time at work and you don't know what is going on in the life of your children will be taught different things by outsiders. What you don't want your children to know at a certain time or do at a certain time, outsider will make your children feel that they can do it at earlier time. Please, so that we don't end up blaming the other partner, or it's not this one, it's work, it's bills. Everyone has bills to pay. Everyone wants to make it in life. But one of the joy of parents is when we see our children doing well, excelling. It's not when things now change that you don't even want people to identify them to you. That's not nice. I am not against the LGBT. It's their right what they want to do. But for children, I don't think it's right. I don't accept such. I like the fact that the UK Prime Minister has spoken about it. And the school have to be, school that will want to embark on that will be banned. This kind of a thing has to stop. Those children will grow up later, they will not like what they have changed into. And they'll be wondering, why would I be allowed to do this? I was a child then, I don't know much. They don't have enough capacity to be able to know the implication of what they are doing, because most likely there might be regret in the near future. I'm just going to play a clip for you guys to listen to. Let me know what you think in the comment section about this, about children changing their gender or trying to be identified as a certain pronouns. And also, why would some children dress living home and in as a boy and going back as a girl, and the parents would that say they are not at home to know or to notice it? Like, what brought that thought into their mind for it to stick into their mind and change their mind? Let me know, have you experienced this before? Have you heard it before? Have you seen it in your area? What are your thoughts towards it? But for me, it's a no for me. Please let us think our children in the way that we will love them to go. Let them be an adult for them to change themselves. Thank you.
You've been talking about for years now, this gender reassignment and gender treatments for children in this country. The reports out of Melbourne now, children as young as 6 are being treated through a hospital process. I mean, every individual case has got to be considered, of course, by parents and doctors and whatever, but it looks so disturbing and worrying for us, doesn't it?
Well, these children are often presenting with a whole lot of vulnerabilities. They have, there's family bereavement, some of them are in care, they have mental health issues, they're suffering bullying, etc. And they are being taught that the solution to their problems is their gender identity, particularly some of these older kids that go online, they are sold that narrative. And then the issue with these clinics is once they're there, they are put onto a medicalised pathway. There is this understanding out there that children are undergoing all sorts of psychological assessment, and that is simply not true. The Melbourne clinic is based on Tavistock, and the Tavistock is currently in the midst of an enormous scandal. There was a book released on the weekend blowing the lid on it even further. And there were extreme things being done to kids, as I said before, kids who are vulnerable showing up and being put on these pathways that are irreversible.
Yeah, and they're medical. The thing here, Gemma, that strikes me, and I heard this from a psychologist, it made such sense, and that is the most important here should be acceptance. Whatever they're going through, these people, children, should be accepted and made to feel comfortable about who they are, rather than using some medical intervention to change who they are.
Right, I understand. Yeah, look, it's
I think about this issue a lot. I struggle to understand it. I struggle to understand how any medical professional can look at a child, and we say in society that children are unable to consent to a variety of things because they are cognitively unable to take responsibility for the decision. So are these doctors, this is my question, and I wonder how quickly some of these clinics would shut down if the doctors who are prescribing these irreversible pathways of life-altering treatment are then held responsible for that treatment for the lifetime of that child. What 6-year-old can understand? And what doctor, for the life of me, I have an arts degree, let's be clear, I don't have a medical degree, but what doctor, for the life of me, can look at a 6-year-old and go, I'm going to put that child on an irreversible path of medical treatment that may ruin its life because they know they're not responsible?
It is such a fraught area, and we've only begun to see the repercussions through all of our countries.
That's it for me, guys. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section about this. And please don't forget to like this video, share if you can. I will appreciate that once again. Please remember to check my other content, my other videos, and yeah, I appreciate you guys. Do take care. Bye.